What's up, good people? It's your boy Hoon Boone, and this is the Hold Up Show. welcome to everyone. Hope y'all all having a blessed day. Hope y'all woke up in gratitude and good intentions. And y'all out here blessing God for letting y'all see another day and giving y'all another chance to start over and handle your business. You dig? I got something on my eyelid. Oh well. What's up, everybody? Happy Fiesta Friday. You feel me? Hope everybody got some good plans for the weekend. Hope you got some things lined up. Some time to spend with the family or a loved one, or personal time with the kiddies. However you want to bust it up. Me, I will be trying to enjoy myself all weekend as usual, you know what I mean? Enjoying this life that the divine has given me. Enjoying all the blessings that he showered on me, yes, you know what I'm saying? So I intend to have a great weekend, you know? Hopefully you do too. But today, I wanted to talk about spiritual equity. I wanted to talk about the quote unquote hood credibility. You know? That imaginary credit or imaginary equity or just energetic stock that you may have grown throughout the years, you know, that when certain people open their mouth, people listen and take what they have to say to heart, you know what I mean? Because they've built enough spiritual equity, hood credibility, energetic stock, to where as though when they open their mouths, you know that they ain't spitting no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I kind of try to go throughout life priding myself on that. When I opened my mouth and when I had something to say, that it would be taken for exactly what I said it was. You know what I mean? Because I ain't never had a reason to lie on a person. I ain't never had a reason to go out here and falsely cry wolf, you know? Because once you become the person who cries wolf, you know, your spiritual equity, your hood credibility, your energetic stock plummets, and nobody will want to hear anything that you got to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I kind of felt like throughout life, you know what I mean, I always watched what I said, watched how I said it, made sure that when I said something that I was able to say it in front of anybody regardless of if I was talking about that person or wasn't, or whatever the case may be, right? You there, you not there, my feelings ain't gonna change. What I got to say ain't gonna change. And the truth that I witnessed will be taken as valid because of the equity that I've built up within the relationships that I've built with other souls in this world, that they would know, like, Boon ain't on no bullshit. Or when he opened his mouth about a topic, that he did enough research or he did enough digging to the point that when whatever he's talking about, or how whatever the angle is that he's trying to express, is what it is, because he's done enough research and he's done enough building relationships with the truth and his honesty and just being authentic, that nothing I would say would be taken out of context. It would be exactly how I said it was. It would be exactly for what I said it was. You know what I mean? Just all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I just see in this world that being a man of your word, or being a man of authenticity, or someone that's just willing to put it out there, is just not completely respected. Or just, those virtues of being trustworthy, or honest and genuine and integrity, they just really don't hold no weight in the society that's been created as of lately, that just value a bunch of, temporary gratifications and validations. You know what I mean? Like, I have now witnessed in this world, you know what I mean, people who will seek validation of people that don't even like them, just to try to destroy a person that loves them, you know what I mean, or a person that was solid and honestly helped them or had their back, you know what I mean, that they are willing to throw their integrity and all that out the window just to appease people who don't even have their best interests at heart, you know what I mean? And I've witnessed it firsthand. I've seen it, you know what I mean? And I've also seen in this world that when you try to better yourself, you know what I mean? Bettering yourself gets you alienated, gets you ostracized, gets you slandered, gets you targeted, gets you plotted against, gets you, you know what I'm saying, it breeds manipulation, breeds envy, breeds jealousy, breeds resentment of, people looking at you and realizing you reflect something onto them that they are not, because, being around individuals that we see next to people, and those people are not elevating or posturing themselves to put themselves in better situations. It makes people go, well, they're doing good. What's wrong with you? Why you ain't, they're elevating, you ain't getting some of the information to elevate yourself as well, it's like, it becomes like situations like that. So, I just learned that, it even takes a even specialer individual that he recognizes all that while he's bettering himself amongst the environment that he's in, or even amongst the people that he's supposed to be loving, or that's supposed to be loving him, to even still stand on that amidst all that bad energy takes a special type of individual, when it looks like all the world and all the energy is shunning him for taking that stance or trying to diminish the confidence and the things that he's built in himself, because he's known what he accomplished, or what the work he's put in to accomplish things that others may not deem as important in their life, or may deem as something that they don't even want to try to accomplish. Like, that's just not on their bucket list of things to do. But my new favorite saying, if you ain't here to help, don't be here to hurt. You know what I'm saying? Go on about your business. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't got good intentions, move along. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why should I have to sniff the bad intentions on you and then tell your ass to move along? You should just move along. Like, just go on about the business. Like, because, the divine is going to show who you are regardless. Like, especially if it's a personal organization, especially if it's one of his children, like, one of his, called upon, chosen, earth angel, starseed, however you would like to describe it, because I have now been able to recognize that I'm one of them children, you know what I mean? Unexpectedly, without knowing, trust me, it's still a surprise to me every day of the things that he shows me, I'm like, who knew? You know what I mean? Who knew? So yeah, while I'm here trying to appease God and, put the impact on the world that he is looking for me to put on this world, hopefully, if one thing, if anything, is show you that, what I mean, you're strong enough to make it through anything. Like if you are able to see me 3 months ago, or at the start of this journey, when things were first being revealed to me, and the visions really first started to come, you will see the full transformation. You will see how he worked on me. You will see how he has completely transformed my world, transformed my environment, transformed the souls and people that I interact with, and how I interact with them. Just, just the heightened awareness, just all that comes along with that, you know what I mean? And you would know, like, man, he is real. Like, he is real, and it's just no easier or more plain way to explain that, because he really saved me, and thank goodness, that I built enough spiritual equity with my ancestors that they were advocating for me, because I'm not my grandparents' only grandchild, you know what I'm saying? I'm not my ancestors' only relative or lineage, They didn't have to tap me, or they didn't have to, guide me out of a situation to hopefully, clean up the karmic debt of my lineage, or my bloodline, so that the ones that come after me, my children, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, and so on and so forth, will be prosperous. If if I know I had to endure all this, endure betrayal, endure fake love, endure whatever I had to endure, the hate, the just people just liking you, disliking you for no reason, whatever the case may be, right? They hate your outlook, perspective, how you carry yourself, whatever. If I had to do it all over again to free my lineage and to free my bloodline as far as my kids and their kids and their kids and their kids to be prosperous and to have all that good dharma, as they like to say, come into their life, and I had to take those hits for them, so be it. Let's do it all over again, because I'm going to make the same decisions. I'm going to make the same choices because that is the heart they gave me. And I want to pour that energy into the people that watch me, to hopefully that they can feel it in their heart that when you are getting this resistance from this 3D world, you are getting the pushback where it seems like nothing's going right, there is someone watching over you. You may be cleaning up some family lineage karmic debt, or you may be cleaning up some of your own karmic debt that you knew that you may have accumulated earlier on in your life with some of the bad decisions that you made. Weather that storm. Do not pile on it. Do not rob Peter to pay Paul to just collect more karmic debt. Start investing in your spiritual credibility, you know what I mean, your spiritual equity, your hood credibility, your energetic stock. Start pouring into that, because I promise you, the world, meaning the universe, meaning the energy, meaning the esoteric field that covers you, that you radiate, that you vibrate out to the world, will change your circumstances. It will change how people approach you. It will change how people communicate with you and interact, because they will feel it coming off you. They will see it oozing out of you that you mean them to better themselves. You mean them to uplift themselves in a better way, so that you can, open up them chakras. You can open up your spiritual gifts, and you can start being blessed by the divine and the universe in such a way that you will see the prosperity. You will see that you can attract the easygoing life that you are looking to have. You can build that from within till it resonates without, And yes, he had to do a lot to put that faith in me, to convince me that first and foremost, yes, he's talking to me and he's not talking to others. Yes, there was a reason that he was talking to me. Yes, there was a reason I was put through whatever I was put through, and the people that was around me that did what they did was a reason why they were put through the test that they were put through, and all of that good stuff. And I happened to pass whatever he was looking for me to pass, you know what I mean? I had the reactions that he was looking for me to have. Unknowing and unwilling, or unbeknownst to me, I didn't know what I was doing. It was just, just unconsciously, unsubconsciously, just doing what was in my heart, just handling things how I thought a gentleman would handle things, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and remember who you are, because some people tend to forget who you are, and sometimes just being comfortable in your energy, you could tend to forget who you are sometimes and how powerful you are. So I try to awaken the power back in the people who may have lost their way somehow or another along the way, through some type of turmoil or through some type of trauma that made them diminish their light or diminish their confidence or diminish the purpose that they actually have because some distraction or some other lost soul who doesn't have a purpose wants to just derail your purpose because you're looking too happy or you're accomplishing too much or you're just mentally in too much of a good space, and it irritates their demons. It actually infuriates something internally in them that they just can't stand to be around you. You know what I mean? It just, whatever you are, when you're around it, it just irritates them all inside because it's just nothing, nothing they can really say to you, about you, or, around you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they're just looking for something to diminish you. You know what I mean? Because it's just the mirror that you're reflecting on in them is just too much. It's just too much. It's just like he thinks he's too healthy. He thinks he's too smart. Or he thinks he's too better than this. Or think he looks too good in that. And whatever, right? You just never know how these people are coming off. But whatever that's in your light, that's shining on them, that's irritating them, and trust me, you'll start to recognize it, you'll start to notice it, because they can't hide it. Like, the demon won't let them hide it. And then the clairvoyance and the sight, the spiritual sight that the divine gives you, no matter how powerful yours is, we all have some form of it, but he gives you that sight to let you even see the demon on them, you know what I mean? And that can go for your wife, that can go for your children, that can go for your parents, that can go for your siblings. Like when I speak of these things, I'm not speaking of the enemies and the strangers because they've already identified themselves. You clearly know them as either an enemy or a stranger, so you're not divulging or showing too much of who you are outside of what's externally being shown or what they may happen to have overheard or conveyed in a passerby conversation they may have had with you. I'm talking about the people that you love, like the people that you think that you don't have to look twice at. Those are the people that the divine gives you the power to look past if they have evil intentions for you. Like the signs, they are there. They are there. Pay attention to them. You know what I mean? And just like he gives you signs, like when you're driving your car and you see someone that's reckless, that look like they're driving reckless 2 or 3 cars ahead of you, and you're aware of them, and you are aware to the point where you can feel the possibleness of them causing an accident, and you decide to switch lanes, or you say, I'm gonna stay in this lane, they're not driving that reckless, and then they cause an accident, which makes you run into the back of someone, and then you be like, dang, I knew when I got that, when I got that little hint that they was whatever, that I should have switched lanes and got out of there. Don't wait, switch the lane. It is telling you, trust your gut. Trust your gut. First instinct, trust your gut. I know sometimes it's scary. Sometimes, like me, some people need confirmation, need more clarity, need more assurance of the decision they're going to make, because sometimes it could be a big decision, whether you have to separate from someone, whether you have to cut long-term friendships, whether you have to cut your own kids off, whether you have to cut your own parents off, like whatever the bond or whatever you are holding more sacred than that other person is holding for you. Sometimes you don't need that clarity. Sometimes it's that first instinct, and you need to trust it, you need to believe in it, and you need to bust a move. You know what I mean? You need to bust a move. Because it'll be like, when my trials and tribulations or things that I started to feel differently about, and the world of spirituality was opening up to me, and I came to certain individuals expressing how I was feeling, and some of their reactions just gave me all the clarity and confirmation that I needed. That, like, okay, I don't no longer need to foster this relationship. I don't no longer need to talk to you or whatever. Like, clearly divine is moving you out the way and gave me that sight to see you for what you is, you know what I mean? And you know when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Don't let them have to keep telling you over and over again, you know what I mean? It's another one of those good old lessons that I had to learn with some more individuals that I supposedly loved, you know what I mean, that wasn't reciprocating that energy. So don't don't wait, don't wait, don't wait, don't wait, don't wait. And it's not to say, like, people don't make mistakes, but you're not the person to just keep making mistakes with. You know what I mean? They made it once. It's the reason why it's called a mistake. It's the reason why it's called an opportunity. It's the reason why it's called the moment, because you could fuck them up and miss them, or they could become permanent, life-altering events that happen from decisions that you made. You know what I mean? So it was like, I only can hold myself accountable for the decisions that I made, you know what I mean? Whether, I entertain individuals for too long that I knew served me no good purpose, or whether I befriended individuals that I knew served me no good purpose, or whether I held reverence for relatives or loved ones that never served me no good purpose. Sometimes you gotta do what the fuck you gotta do. Like, it is exactly what it is, and God puts it exactly in your face. The best teacher in life is life. The best teacher is experience, and if you just keep going through the same thing over and over again, you clearly haven't been looking in the mirror. You clearly have not been doing your shadow work. You have clearly not been digging in your soul and looking for what needs to be fixed or bettered, or what is causing you to keep having these same trauma reactions that are serving you no good purpose, when you should be doing something that betters yourself every day. So yeah, that's just what I be wanting to drop on the world nowadays. Now, because they get to see me just going through this healing process. Of course, that I'm not where I was when I started this healing process, and of course I am not quote unquote healed. I'm in a better space, and I'm in a different part of the process that, to where, as though, I'm just at a different level of it. I have a different understanding of a lot of things now that life has taught me. And it was like, the things that they say that people were capable of, I always knew that they were capable of those things, but it was just my perspective on who was capable of those things. And it was like, those individuals are capable of those things. Oh man, I gotta look at everybody. Oh man, no one's safe, huh? Okay, like that type of, what I'm saying. And once you get over that hurdle, I promise you, it's like, once you put all the faith in God, and then once God puts that faith back into you, and And once you start to recognize how powerful you are and how divinely guided you actually are, because we all have a purpose. We are all divinely guided. We are all some sort of key cog in the system of elevating the vibration of people, of elevating the spiritual equity of people, the hood credibility, the energetic stock. All should be high, because that's how we were made. Like, anything malicious and things like that you got going on, you were taught those things. You were taught to get over on people. You were taught to, be violent or whatever, right? You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of people just don't want to recognize the flaws in themselves. They want to be able to hold the mirror up to so many other people. Like, they just have no problems telling somebody else that they're close to all they need to do to fix their life, but can't give you one drop of insight on how they need to fix their own life, or a drop of accountability on themselves when they look in the mirror. Like, you are fake. You are fake. It is. And it's like, you 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 will be surprised. You will be surprised how fake these people are out here. Like, you will be surprised of the level of fakeness that is out here. And then it's like, whew. Like, I know being real is not respected. Being real is not respected. I know. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna turn around and be not real because being real is not respected. That's something that those souls are gonna have to answer for them not being real or true to themselves or authentic in their purpose and in their spirit and cleaning up their energy. Yeah. And it's like I'm living the same life in so many words, but it's just incorporated into a spiritual path. I never start my day without, thanking God, thanking the ancestors, thanking guardian angels, thanking ancestors, grandparents, whoever helped me get to this point. To where as though they were saving me, making sure I ain't throw my life away so I could fulfill what needs to be fulfilled for my lineage to prosper. And it's like, I might not be the end game of that, but I might be the bud that blossoms into that rose that grew in the concrete, or I'm the stem, I'm the root, and it starts to progress through my kids, or just something to that nature, or that I became the root for others that watch me on here, speak speak God's intentions and God's words in another light, because everybody's not guided to talk in the format of scriptures and the format of a religion or anything like that. Like, when I say I've talked to passed on relatives, and I've talked to angels, and I've been shown things by God for my better good. I will hope that when I speak, I have enough spiritual equity, good credibility, and energetic stock that you believe what I'm saying, because it has never been my MO to start talking something that I'm not aware of. And if I can lead you and guide you into a place where you have your own spiritual awakening, things that I had to go to spark and push that awareness or push that enlightenment that I experienced, so be it. You know what I mean? So be it. So remember, salt baths, Celtic salt baths, dip up to your neck and pray away bad energy, negative intentions, uh, malicious souls. Just pray all of those things off of your body. Pray those things out of your energetic atmosphere. Pray those soul ties away. Um, bathtub, or preferably if you can go to the ocean, it's just better to just go to the ocean, put them bare feet in the sand, put them bare feet in the grass, uh, early morning or late night sun gazing is also something that I strongly encourage, because it will definitely do you justice. Then also, listening to chakra frequencies, start from the root, work your way up to the crown. Find you one that you like to hear, the sound bowls, things of that nature. Reiki healings, Reiki sessions where you can meditate abundance into your life, meditate negative energy out of your life. And then it gets down to your diet, raw fruits and vegetables. Oh, that's what I want. So I just completed last night. I just completed a 72-hour dry fast. No food, no water of any kind for 72 hours. Man, I was crying like a bitch the first day. Whining for food. Everything I look, everywhere I turn, the food commercial, or somebody was talking about food, or I had the urge to get up and go in the kitchen and get some water, or what. Oh my goodness. Second day, I had enough errands running around that it wasn't as bad until it got to the nighttime. Then it was like, man, just push through one more day, like, oh. And I felt like, I just felt like my stomach and my obliques and everything just like sinking in, and it was like, ooh. But yeah, like every time I went outside and I started meditating and just trying to clear my mind, it actually helped move the energy of hunger out of my system. I was trying to you know, basically just do a more in-depth cleanse spiritually as well as physically, you know, while also letting my body uh, I want to say realign or reset, like have the systems in my body reset, you know what I mean, and attack anything that is foreign to the environment that's supposed to be going on the inside, you know what I mean, and give my body the rest and the awareness to activate that system to reset it, you know. And basically, you know, just a mental challenge, you know, of discipline and obedience, and just to see if I can do it, you know. I may try to incorporate that, you know, at least once every 3 months or something like that, to just see the effects of it, just to see if there is a something that shows externally by me doing that, you know, whether it clears the skin more or whatever, you know, the bowel movements or whatever, just for health purposes, you know, and also for discipline purposes to help with the meditation and things like that. So very cool experience, you know, if you are able to mentally go through that barrier of no food, no water, no nothing for 72 hours. I encourage you to try it. Tell me how you feel. Tell me if you made it through. If you can't do the no water, no food, try the water version of that challenge, but it is a lot longer where you just have nothing but water for 7 days. Me personally, you know, I'll rather, you know, I've always been a person to take the hard road. So if it was like no food, no water, and it's 3 days, I'm doing that rather than purge on water for 7 days, because I kind of already done that and just living the poor life, you know what I'm saying? Like when a nigga was out in the street and ain't had much, you know, it was just water for a week or something, you know, whatever the case may be, but you know what I mean. But yeah, that's my message for the day, you know what I mean? Spiritual equity, hood credibility, energetic stock. When you open your mouth, is what you got to say respected, because you've built up enough of those three things in this world with the energies that you've exchanged with the souls that you connected with, that when you open your mouth and you got something to say, that is respected, that it is looked at as an intelligent, thoughtful, thought out opinion, comment, statement that you made when someone thinks of you speaking, you know what I mean? And it's like, me personally, I only want to be around individuals that know when I open my mouth that I'm spitting some real shit. I'm spitting with good intentions, and I'm spitting to better you or better your clarity on a situation, no matter what the situation is, right? So, yeah, love is love, you know what I mean? Hashtag faith, hashtag you know he saved me, you know he saved me. Hashtag the grass is always greener on God's side. Hashtag hold up, cause it's your boy, and I'ma hold you up to give you this good message, you know what I mean? Cause there's always a lesson in my message, and hopefully you picked it up, you dig? So it's your boy Hoom Boom, This has been another segment of the Hold Up Show. I hope you enjoyed. Peace.